Hey, welcome back to part 2 of the walkthrough for chapter 5. Let's get started with exploring sources of vector maps. So the book is a little old in terms of census, downloading census data. I'm gonna show you how to do it with the new website, download the data, join the tables, all that good stuff using the new website. So let's let's first see what they want from the ESRI website, which is downloading Tiger 2000 data. Well, although it's pretty irrelevant if you ask me, I'm going to show it to you anyways. I'm going to type in ESRI Tiger data and Google it. Once I Google it, I found a link saying census 2000 Tiger line data ESRI. Click on that and I'm going to click on preview and download. So if you are lost, just type in arcdata.esri.com /data /tiger 2000 /tiger_download.cmf. Okay, and I'm going to select my state. They want us to download Illinois stuff, so I'm going to do that. And apparently they want to do it for the Cook County, so let's do it for the Cook County. Submit selection. So once I submit that, I got a whole bunch of files that I can download from this website, which is fairly easy to use. So I'm going to click on census tracks 2000, and then I'm going to download census track demographics, the SF1 file. And I'm going to click on download. So your file is ready, and there's a small disclaimer, and I'm going to click on download file. So I got my file. I'm going to move this file into my exercise 5 folder. So I'm going to move this file into my folder right here. I'm going to paste it. So I'm going to extract it. This is a zip file. So WinRAR zip. This is a zip file. You probably won't see this icon. You would see like a compressed file icon, which is fine. I'm going to right click and click on extract here, which you might not have, but you can still use pretty much the same procedure. You can double click on it, click on extract if it's just like a Windows interface. And then there are two files. One is the Tiger file, the tracked file, and then there is the shape file. So the shape file here looks like has only 3 files, which is fine. And then there is the data file. So let me extract these two here. What I'm going to do is move these two into a new folder, call it Cook County 2000. I'm going to move them here. I'm going to right click extract and right click extract. So the files I do want are these. This is the DBF file, this is the shape file. So okay, now that I got my data, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my I'm going to go to my arc map, start a blank map, add the census tracks. Under my exercises chapter 5, looks like Cook County has popped up. I'm going to add both the files. I'm going to add them. So that's Cook County. Essentially Cook County is Chicago for people who don't know it. So right click, open the track file and see all this bunch. There's lots of data here. The SF1 file is pretty rich in information, so that's good. Let's examine this. So looks like I got STF ID, which has to be by my primary key by which I will join these two tables. So let's see what I have here. So it looks like I have an STF ID here too, so that makes my life pretty easy. So I want all this data in this table. So how do we do that? We already know how to do that. Right click on join. I'm going to select my STF ID and from the table I'm going to select SDF ID, and I'm going to keep all my records. I'm going to click on validate join. So I'm going to say, do you want to, it wants to create an index for join field performance. So I'm going to click on yes. So it says 1344 of 1344 records matched, which is fantastic. This is pretty easy to do. So once I have that, I can, again, remember this is a temporary join, which means this join is whenever you're opening this table, you're opening two tables in theory. So you're still opening that table, although these two tables you are able to see them side by side, they are not really joined permanently. If you want to join them permanently, I'm gonna right click, export that as cook tracks 2000 and export them. So once you do that, essentially you can turn the other layer off. Now this is a permanent, it's a permanent join. That's it, this is it. And I'm going to right click, go to properties. We can do like a thematic map on population of 2000 perhaps. Actually I should have gone with quantities, population of 2000. I'm going to normalize by percentage of total and see where is the biggest tracks, so to speak. Or I can do like percentage of white, and then format labels. I can do number of decimal places as just 2 or 1. Actually, since that this is a percentage, I'm going to click on percentage. The number represents a fraction. Number of decimal places just maybe 1. Okay, and see what that looks like. Maybe change the colors. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable or obvious. Let's move on to the next one, which is downloading Census Bureau boundary files. So which is the Tiger files. We need to download the Tiger files for the book says 2009. This is when it was written. We're gonna download stuff for 2012. Now, since that's the most latest, although there is 2013 census tracts right now, the data is not available for that, so we'll just download the data for 2012 census tracts. Let's see how to do that. So I'm going to go to my web browser. I'm going to click on Census Bureau, census.gov. I'm going to go there. I'm going to click on just like move my mouse on top of geography and select Tiger. Once I do that, it says it has a couple of options. Either we go through this process of downloading data and tables and then joining them, or we can just download the pre-joined demographic data in form of a geodatabase. Since we are in the process of learning stuff, I'm just gonna stick to my guts and just click on downloading shapefiles. I'm gonna click on shapefiles. I'm gonna click on, it says here that the Tiger shapefiles do not include demographic data, but they do contain demographic identity codes, which are called GeoIDs. They are not called SDF IDs anymore, they are called GeoIDs, that can be linked to the Census Bureau's demographic data available on American Fact Finder, which happens to be our step 2. So again, I'm gonna go to 2012, click on download. I'm gonna click on web interface. I'm gonna click on geography census tracts. I'm gonna submit that, and in the census tracts I need that for Illinois. So looks like you have to download this for the entire state here, but that's okay. We can easily trim this down. So I'm gonna move this file again to my exercise folder. So I'm gonna move this here. So that tracks 2012 17. 17 happens to be the state ID for Illinois, by the way. So right click on this, I'm gonna say extract to track. I'm gonna extract it to a particular folder, just so you can extract it anywhere you want. I just did it so that you can see what files came with that. So okay, we got all the files we need. Looks like perhaps the DBA file has all the data, probably just the ID, geo IDs, nothing else, and the shape files and other stuff. What I do need is I need to go back to the Census Bureau website, click on American Fact Finder under data, and now I need to do a advanced search. So the topic here, the table we are asked to download is the SF3 sample data. Since we are trying to download the means of transportation, I'm going to type in means. So it automatically came up, means of transportation to work by age. I'm going to click on that, and then the state and then the geographies is Illinois. So I'm going to click on Illinois and click on go. So I got my state, and then I got my tables, but these tables are for Illinois state, looks like. So I'm going to click on geographies again, select the geographic type. Under that I'm going to select census tract 140 because I need this data by census tract, and select state. I'm going to select Illinois, and you can select Cook County right here. So I'm going to select Cook County, all census tracts within Cook County, and I'm going to click on add to selections. So once I did that, I can close this pop-up window, and then I got essentially the search is narrowed down to 3 files now. Since we downloaded 2012 census tracts, I need that data. So I'm going to click on that, and looks like that's the data we need. I'm going to go back and then select that and click on download. It says I'm gonna let you download a zip file, so to speak. I'm gonna click on download. It's called AFF download. Excellent. So I'm gonna move this file to my exercise. So here what we need to do is we need to symbolize this based on, I want to do public transportation, the percentage of people in Chicago using, or Cook County using public transportation. I want to look at perhaps the percentage. So I don't know the field names, so I'm going to go back to my ACS 12 5-year B08101 metadata, open that in Excel. So looks like, actually, you know what, total worked at home, that's a more I'd like to see that. So let's see what's happening here. So if I actually map them, which happens to be field, field HD01 VD50, so 50th field essentially. I'm gonna select VD50, I'm gonna format labels. Number of decimal places is 0. Use 1000 padding. Okay, that looks okay. I'm gonna select a new color because I can, and then I don't know, something like that. As you can see, more and more people looks like they're working from home in the northeast or north of Cook County, which is pretty interesting. And if we were to map, some kind of like percentage, that would be useful too. We can map this by, well, let's look at some of the other fields that we have. So estimate total, let's normalize this by estimate total, which is the VD01, and then format labels. This is a percentage. So now that shows an entirely different story. So looks like people who are close to downtown are to what an interesting stat. So anyways, that's how you map the data. What the data means is a whole different question. Anyways, this is how you get to your joining those two tables. One is the census tract, census tiger file, and one is the actual data. So this is how you find your variable and join them to a map. So let me show you one other way of actually going through this entire process without actually doing all the work. I'm going to go back to my census.gov, and then I'm going to click on geography. I'm going to click on tiger, and in the tiger line geodatabases, I'm going to click on pre-joined demographic data. Once I click on that, I know I already got this, so I'm going to click on 2011 community survey. Again, this data is only available for 2011, but the data we are showing is for 2012. It could be slightly different, but this is the latest available with a pre-joined demographic data. So I'm going to click on Illinois, and then I'm going to look at the table ones. It has sex by age, median age by sex, race, and then it has means of transportation, which means I do not need to join anything to anything to the tiger files. It's already comes as a pre-joined file. So I'm going to click on go. It looks like it's a 24 megabyte file. That's great. It's just downloading pretty fast too. So I'm gonna move that folder file to my exercise folder. So I'm gonna move it here. So 2011, I'm gonna extract here. So it's extracted as a GDB. As you can see, there is nothing we can read in this. So I'm gonna go with what I have, go back to the map, add that 2011. There's a GDB Illinois. This is the GDB we just downloaded. ACS 2011, 5 years. Fantastic. We already got apparently we got block groups. We could have just gone with this is block group data, by the way. So if you wanted yeah, all we have available is block groups, so I just went with that. So if you want other stuff like counties and school districts and states, or you can download the more complete file, which is the 2010 census demographic profile one, but I'm going to stick with this block group thing right now. I'm going to right click, go to properties. I'm going to symbolize this based on quantities. Look at all these fields, it's fantastic. So we already have so much data for the entire state. This is for the entire state. And let's look at the attribute table. So got all this wealth of information. So let's see let's see the field names here. Occupancy status, race of householder. So text file version of table list. I'm going to click on table list. So looks like this is the table list, and these are all the fields. We actually, let's go with the metadata. So once I have the metadata, this is a more complete table. Says like all the tables that were joined to that Tiger file of 2011, but this is actually the each individual field explained. So what I'm looking for is means of transportation. We just did for work at home. So this is the B08308301E21. I'm gonna go map that. So it's B08301. B8301 E21. So looks like that's the file we are after. Let's look at the entire state and see what the trends are. So more and more people are working from home in Cook County or in and around Chicago. That's pretty obvious. Properties for all selected properties for all symbols. I'm gonna do no outline so that I can see the colors. Yeah, that's much better. So looks like we have our own hotspot in what looks like Fairview Heights, perhaps. Anyhow, so that's how you map the data. You don't need to join anything, it already comes like pre-joined, but then again you are stuck with ACS 2011 because 2012 data is not yet available in a pre-joined format. Again, it's a decision you have to make whether you want the latest data or not. But if you're okay with 1 year old data, this is great stuff. So that's how you download and join data. And this is exploring better data sources. So let's continue our vector data sources exploration, and we'll focus on raster maps, which is imagery this time. So essentially the book talks about seamless.usgs.gov, which essentially now is called nationalmap.gov. And when I click on that, it says it comes up with like a web map interface, and then you can type in, I don't know, Cook County, Illinois. Essentially you'll zoom to like the center point or centroid of Illinois, and from there you can essentially look for imagery or hydro neighborhood, hill shade, just like a blank. I don't know why we would want that. Imagery is useful. Imagery the topographic is like overlaid data on top. It'll have street information, some landmarks and so on. So that could be useful. So I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna say I don't know, I want to download this for something like a downtown because I don't want this file to be too big, or I can just download imagery. It's up to you. And then I'm gonna click on download by bounding box. I'm gonna download this area, that, and then I'm gonna select imagery, ortho imagery, click on next. So it says 2010 geotiff is what we want, but okay, let's go with the 2010 ortho imagery. I'm gonna click on next, and then it's gonna add all the products. I'm gonna click on checkout. It's gonna ask you to enter your email ID, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place an order, and I'm gonna get an email. So once I get my email, I'm gonna go back to my email, click on download that geography, download those imageries. Looks like there are 6 images for this, so you have to download each one of them individually. Looks like each one of them is like 140 megabytes, which is going to take a long time. But anyway, I'm gonna show you what the end product's gonna look like for a different area, not downtown. So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna go back to my map, which I downloaded using the same process. I downloaded this, so I'm gonna add these two. So that's how you're gonna get your imagery, like in bits and pieces, which is fine. You just have to assemble them together. That's for a different area of Cook County, by the way. That's not downtown. But I'm going to show you a better way of downloading data, which is actually adding. I'm going to click on Cook County tracks. I'm going to zoom to that layer and then turn the layer on. Now I'm going to add, click on this arrow next to add data. I'm going to click on add base map. Something's not right. So anyways, you start with the blank map, you add the as a Cook County 2012, what we just created. You can perhaps go there and click on add data. What you can do is click on add data from ArcGIS Online. It's crashing on me. I don't know what's going on, but I need to fix this ASAP, obviously. But the thing is, when you click on ArcGIS Online, the first 2 things are going to be imagery, world imagery, something like that. You double click on it and you will get aerial photography right into your map. You don't need to do anything else. It's absolutely fabulous. That's what the book talks about. That's how I do all my aerial imagery. That's sort of called using a web map service. So please make sure you got that part. I'll try to fix this meanwhile, and yeah, and good luck with your assignments. Thank you for watching.